The city of Budapest was officially created in 1873 from a merger of the three neighboring cities of Pest, Buda and Óbuda. The origins of Budapest can be traced to the Celts, who occupied the plains of Hungary in the 4th century before Christ. The first town built by the Celts in the 1st century before Christ occupied about 30 hectares along the slopes of Gellért Hill, which is going to be our first step on our way to get to know Budapest's most beautiful panoramas and most important historical places. On the top of the Gellért Hill, we can find the citadel, which means a kind of fortress, which was used by the Austrians, Nazis, and communists as well as a kind of surveillance point, but also our very own Statue of Liberty, a proud woman holding a palm leaf and guarding the city, since we got free from these oppressors. The two parts of the city divided by the Danube are connected by 15 bridges. The first bridge across the Danube was built in ancient times by the Roman Emperor Trajan. Then, after King Sigismund moved his court to Buda in the 14th century, he raised the idea of a permanent bridge between Buda and Pest. However, due to the Turkish occupation and Austrian oppression following the Battle of Mohács, it took more than 4 centuries for the bridge to be completed. Through our first bridge, you can reach the easier from the castle district, the Hungarian Parliament. Buda Castle has been home to Hungarian kings since the 13th century, but today the building is a complex, modern cultural institution. We tend to think of the parliament as the legislative arena where representatives go to work, yet this beautiful building has given and continues to give work to hundreds of people, and in some cases has even been a place of residence. My personal favorite is the Margaret Bridge and Island, which was called in the 12th century the Island of the Rabbits, may suggest that it was a royal estate used as hunting ground. In the 13th century, the island was a populous place with castles, churches, monasteries, and probably at least one village. It was also the scene of several significant events, notably royal intrigues and deaths. But now I'm showing you the Japanese Garden, which is a form of landscape architecture that was introduced in the 6th and 7th century. The essence of this art used in gardens is to create a place where one can be in harmony with nature. The Japanese Garden on the island opened in the 1970s. Our parliament was built from 1885 to 1904, and it has a special condition that it could only be built with Hungarian materials, Hungarian craftsmen, and Hungarian technology, and thus the project boosted entire industries. And it is still in work. Now we are headed to the castle district, where I'm going to show you the Matthias Church, which was built in 1015, shortly after the country's conversion to the Christian faith. It is one of our oldest and most beautiful churches. The building is also a great example of Central European Gothic style. It is guarded by the Fisherman's Bastion, which is actually a folks historic landmark, using the remaining sections of the fortress that run along this panoramic edge of Castle Hill. An elegant walkway topped with 7 cone-top towers has been created. It is symbolizing the 7 Hungarian chieftains settled in this part of the Carpathian Basin in the late 800s, and the bastion is named after the fisherman's guild who defended this section of the wall in the Middle Ages. These are the places and stories you can get to know if you come to Budapest. And even if one day, if you get a bicycle,